Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the Footy Show daily. We are here live on Patreon as we speak. Get your comments, suggestions, questions, whatever.
Everything else
Just
in.
Get involved in the show. That's what you're here for. You are live. We are live. So get it sorted. Baz, what's going on? What's going on in the world that doesn't concern Crystal Palace getting beat by Burnley?
I thought we were going to start with that.
Well, if you want to start with that, that's up to you. I mean, it was a
rip-roaring
game of football.
Is that what we're starting with?
No.
No? All right.
Go on.
African's Cup of Nations has now been moved to 2022. Obviously, the ongoing coronavirus pandemic has put paid to that one. And the women's tournament's been cancelled. So it should have been taking place 2021. They've moved it back another year. So we'll have that and the World Cup, won't we, in the same year. Not really a surprise with what's going on. You can't guarantee anything, really, at the moment, can you? It should have been taking place in January. Quite clearly, this pandemic won't have been cleared up by then. So they're going to play it the year later. So good boost for, I suppose, like to Liverpool, who've got African players. Everton, who would have, although Gabaman's out now, so they've been worrying about him. You know, but other clubs as well. So not really a surprise in line with everything else that's been cancelled of late. So what can you do? Valencia have sacked their manager and the sporting director has resigned. Albert Salades has been sacked after only 9 months in charge, while sporting director Cesar Sanchez has resigned. He was only named the boss in September after Marcelino was sacked. He was linked with Everton, if you remember.
Marcelino,
So, interesting that they're making those changes. They're 8th in the Liga.
Yeah.
Lost 3 of the last 4 games. Obviously, it's difficult at the moment, I reckon, to get any kind of real judgment on where teams are. They've come back from lockdown, like they've lost a few games, but
there had been talk, though, I think, before the lockdown, because I don't know what's going on behind the scenes at the club, but if obviously people don't feel like things are going in the right way, then you've got to correct them very quickly. Sometimes.
Do you not thought they would have just waited, though, till the summer?
But maybe they've got someone lined up, or maybe they feel. Yeah, but I suppose if you look at like the La Liga table, they might feel like there's still things they can get this season. You know, for what everyone says about La Liga being a 2-horse race, the European places are wide open, and Valencia, who obviously were, they were in the Champions League this year, weren't they?
Yeah.
They probably feel like, this place, Valencia are traditionally a big club.
Oh, they are, yeah.
They're a big club, so they probably feel like they could still get something out of the season.
They've got what they play. How many do they play in Spain? Play the same, don't they? 38. So there's 6 games to go. Okay, they're 8 points off a Champions League place, but they're a point off a Europa League place. So maybe they'll look and feel like, if they make the change now with 6 games to go, they can get back into Europe.
Yeah.
So maybe.
Maybe they've got someone lined up.
Maybe
of course.
That normally happens, isn't it? It's normally a case of someone's waiting to step in.
Yeah.
Massive game tonight, obviously, in the League of Barcelona, Atletico Madrid.
Yeah.
We've seen Aspas equalising at the weekend against Barca and denying them Real Madrid now 2 points clear at the top. 6 games to play.
Madrid could do their neighbours a huge favour tonight.
Massive favour.
Obviously. They're in a bit of a... I mean, I think we spoke about it yesterday, didn't we? They're in a bit of a mess and bringing in like 30-year-old players now and...
For 60-odd million.
Did you see the video of Messi in the drinks break when the assistant manager tried to talk to him and he just basically didn't even look at him, just completely ignored him?
That's not good.
And it showed, because a lot of people have not speculated, a lot of people have obviously said that Messi is in charge.
He's got too much power.
And, he's basically the person who's decided that he doesn't want the manager anymore. So therefore, I think there was actually a thing, and I didn't read it. It was a headline. It said, like, Xavi said, I'll become the Barcelona manager when Messi steps down from being the manager or something like that. I thought that was very, very telling on the situation. You know, and as you said, you know, has he got too much power? Well, he probably has, but they've given him that power to probably make him to stay at the club, because he's probably whether you like it or not, he's the glue that holds it all together. You know, he's the one who gets them out of trouble. He's the one, because it'd be very, very interesting to know what that Barcelona team would look like if Messi wasn't in it. It really would.
Yeah.
You know, not maybe in years gone by, they'd still have been good enough. But now I look at that team and I just think, without that sprinkling of Messi, not only taking responsibility in games, but having the class and everything else, I think they'd be not an average team, but I think they wouldn't be anywhere near Real Madrid this season, because I don't think Real Madrid are a very good side either. I don't think they're a great side, and I think both of them have cut each other's throats in the way
quality's gone down.
Well, and I think the reason for it is Real Madrid have been like chasing Barcelona for that long, that all the quick cutting managers, players in and out, and then where have Real Madrid have gone, no, we need to stop that now, we need to invest in young players. So they've gone, now Barcelona, like their team are so old, they both of them seem to have really cost each other, I think.
It is weird, it is. I mean, Real Madrid's 2 points clear. Barca can go top again if they win tonight. Atletico can reduce the deficit to obviously 8 points if they beat them. And it obviously secure, giving themselves, you know, basically, they win tonight, give themselves, you know, Champions League football again next year, I would suggest. But it's going to be interesting, because, like you say, Barca, there's lock-in fighting going on. We said it yesterday, and you can't continue to be that way. Really, if you're going to get back on a world stage, like a European stage, and winning Champions Leagues again, got to be all pulling in the right direction. Yeah. Sevilla, who occupy the 4th Champions League spot there at Leganes tonight as well. And Mallorca at home to Celta Vigo. Luca Romero came on last week, mate, broke the record, 15-year-old for Mallorca. So he's one to look out for, Luca Romero. Young Mexican. Well, he's born in Mexico but plays for Argentina now. Looks very much like Lionel Messi. Remains to be seen whether or not he is as good as Lionel Messi as we move forward. But just that's the big. I mean, that is the big clash tonight. Atletico Barca. There's obviously championship games tonight. There was a playoff last night, wasn't there?
I couldn't believe it. I was switching over the TV, and there's a playoff final at Wembley on a Monday night, up against the Premier League game as well, which I just thought was so strange. And I know they've got to fit all these games in.
Yeah.
But obviously Northampton promoted.
4-0 win against Exeter.
They had a player sent off, didn't they, Exeter as well? Yeah. But they're up. They're up into League One. So, but very, very strange. Very strange. Wembley is a very eerie place when there's no one in there. Very cavernous, and you know, as I said, you know, I know it's the dream for people to play at Wembley, but surely if it's playing in those conditions, are you getting anything more out of them that you wouldn't get? See, I think in a game like that, I think you'd get more out of a team playing in a smaller little stadium where it's, I just think, I don't think it needs that, because I understand when it's the playoff final, you have all your fans there and you want it to be a great day. I understand why it's Wembley, but when there's nobody there. Is it really adding to the occasion? I don't think it is. I think for me, somewhere like that, you find, like, I don't know whether it be the Emirates or Etihad or an Old Trafford or somewhere like that. Just because
just as good.
You know, just because it's smaller, it's I don't think you need all that pomp and ceremony and there's no fans there. For me, I think it's a nonsense.
Sorry, I was just looking at that.
Go on.
Just back to Barcelona.
Go on.
Eder Sarabia, who was the number 2, the clip's just there of Messi just ignoring him. This just saying he's at the heart of the crisis. The number 2, he's praised, history of praising Real Madrid and infuriating Barcelona's top stars.
Oh, well, there you go then.
So,
there you go. There's the inside.
He's obviously Kiki Settien's right-hand man, but if you can't be doing that, it says it's saying obviously Sarabia is increasingly looking like the wrong man at the wrong time for a Barcelona squad that's not taken to his front foot style at all. Lionel Messi appeared to ignore him during the weekend's 2-2 draw at Celta Vigo. He was also involved in a touchline debate with Antoine Griezmann, although fans have backed his public display of anger in March at the defeat at Real Madrid. His antics did not go down well with the Barca players, who believe he is too involved with running of the team on the training ground and on the touchline. But if he's the assistant manager, surely he should be involved with running of the team, shouldn't he?
Well, you'd think so, but if they don't maybe they think he overpowers the manager. I don't know. Maybe. See, that to me, that's where you have a manager like that who's come from the outside. I know it's if he's got a long history with certain someone from the staff, but there's a good chance there to make the assistant manager someone who's got that connection with Barcelona. I mean, something obviously we see in this country. I mean, obviously for Everton we've got Duncan Ferguson. When Arsene Wenger went into Arsenal, he brought Pat Rice in. You see these little links.
Steve Bold,
Carlo Ancelotti when he went to Chelsea brought in
Ray Wilkins.
Not only Ray Wilkins, but he brought Paul. I'm trying to think of his name. The guy he took with him, the coach.
Oh, Paul Clement.
Paul Clement.
Yeah.
You have these little links that link you to the club, and I think maybe that's something they should have looked at. Maybe that would be a perfect opportunity to make Xavi the assistant manager and then move him upstairs when the time is right.
Although they're probably looking like they're going to bomb the pair of them anyway. In the Premier League, obviously you mentioned it when we opened that, Palace-Burnley.
Yeah.
The game that we wanted to be a draw from an Everton perspective ended with Ben Mee header deciding it. Burnley flying. Absolutely flying, and on the coattails for Europe again.
They're mad, aren't they? Because they are a club. I was looking at their numbers, and they don't draw many games. So obviously, they have a game where they get beat by Man City heavily, and then they go and win the next 2-1-0, keeping clean sheets. And it's that mentality that they have at Burnley of, well, we'll just move on from that game and we'll go and win the next couple. Or you lose 3 and everyone else from the outside is looking and going, oh, they're in trouble. And then they'll go and win the next 3. They just know how to get back to basics really quickly and submit. And they've got, when they get beat by a team like Man City, it's, well, we've been beaten by a team like Man City. What do you want? Now we're going to play a couple of teams that are around us and we'll beat them. And that's why they are where they are. Very interesting philosophy, but it seems to have served them very well.
13 wins, 6 draws, 13 defeats from their games. Obviously, 1 defeat and 5, couple of draws, couple of wins thrown in there. But yeah, put on some good results, and they're 45 points now. Palace, 11 wins, 9 draws, 12 defeats. So big win and a good win, like you say, for Burnley. Keeps them ticking over quite nicely. And tonight in the Premier League, Brighton, Man U at the Amex. So obviously we were talking yesterday, I think, about Brighton should have too much now. 33 points from 31 games. They should have enough in the locker to get what they need.
They've had a great start, haven't they?
Come back with
4 points
from the opening 2. Haven't been dreadful
against difficult sides as Leicester and Arsenal. So they've done really well, and big game for both of these teams tonight, because a win for Brighton would basically confirm that they're in the Premier League. But obviously Manchester United, now they win, they go back above Wolves.
Yeah, they
close the gap with Chelsea and Leicester. Keep the people from who were behind them at bay. So they'll be looking, because they've had a decent start. Okay, draw at Tottenham, but then to beat Sheffield United 3-0 and then win at Carrow Road in the FA Cup 2-1 as well. That's a good start, and they're going in the right direction. So they'll be looking for that 3 points and they'll be thinking, if they do get that 3 points, they'll probably be thinking Champions League. It's on.
They win tonight, 52 points. They're on, same as Wolves.
Better goal
difference. And then Leicester and Chelsea have got the game in hand, playing later in the week. But United will be 1 win behind Leicester and 2 points behind Chelsea. So they win tonight, they're right in the midst of that race, aren't they? With 6 games to go, they'll fancy themselves, I think. More stuff obviously coming out of Manchester United today. They're saying they won't be paying over £50 million for Jadon Sancho. Dortmund rate him at over 100 million.
But isn't that the sensible way? Isn't that sensible though? I
know, without a shadow of a doubt.
I know a lot of people can sit and scoff at that, but that's the sensible view, isn't it? The money's not there to pay more for, we've said numerous times on lots of different shows, it's time the money comes down. We've seen yesterday, Schalke said they're going to have a wage cap. No one's going to be over 50,000 euros. That it's going to be, and I think the more teams you start doing that, and then the more teams you start looking at transfer fees like that and say, no, listen, we're not paying it. Now, obviously, and we said this about Man City, didn't we? If you value a player, you put a price on him. Great, because he's your player, and that's how you value him. If someone else doesn't value him that much, then great, we just continue. But if you do want to sell a player, if you need to sell a player, then you come to a figure that works for everyone. But Dortmund, at some point, will look to sell Sancho. Of course they will, because that's their business model. They go after the young talent, and then when they get to a certain point, they try and sell high. Well, if the top clubs decide that they're not paying ridiculous fees for players now, then it just makes more sense to me. That, and I think that's a good move for Man United, just from the off, saying, okay, fine, we're not paying it. And I know people will criticise him, well, you'll never get him, but the only way to drive prices down is by having that stance.
Yeah, without a shadow of it, you've got to make a decision on how much you want to play for players, and players can't. Dortmund, well within their rights to ask what they want for him. He's a young player. He's obviously very highly rated, but we do need somewhere for people to start going, we're not paying them prices anymore, and hopefully around the world it'll trickle down, and we won't.
Well, if anything that has come out of the pandemic is that it's a place you can draw a line, isn't it? It gives you a reason to draw a line. People have been saying, well, no one will ever introduce a wage cap, the prices won't go down, this and that. This is give football clubs, not the excuse, because it's genuine, because clubs are not making any money, but this gives everyone now the reset where they can go, listen, we cannot afford to pay these prices anymore. So this is the line in the sand, and everyone's got to be on board in it.
Yeah,
so if you thought your player was worth 100 million, well, he's not. Cut that in half now, or take 25 million off it, because it is a genuine line in the sand. And I think the more clubs that get on board with that, and we've said before, how do you implement a wage cap, whether it be at league level or club level or whatever? This is the time now. This is the place that we can draw a line, and we can point to something. Jurgen Klopp, said it. We haven't got the money to sign players. They were his words. We haven't. People, he said, I think he's come out today. He wants to add quality to the squad. He said, but there's not a pot full of money. He said, everyone knows the situation. He said, we want to add quality, but how do you add quality to this squad without spending a fortune? It's not there. The money is not there because of everything that's happened. And I think everyone has to get on board with that. And okay, we've seen already with the Barcelona transfer this week and Juventus, that might go against the grain. But I think the more clubs that come out with this and say we ain't paying it, the better it'll be, because at some point Dortmund will have to sell him, and if the highest bid is 50, 60 million, then they're going to have to accept it.
Be, yeah.
And then hopefully that drags all the prices down.
That's the only way it can go forward. Yeah. Newcastle's £300 million Saudi takeover is complicated, but Masters admits the deal's close.
Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic.
Premier League chief Richard Masters says he wants the Newcastle takeover process to conclude shortly.
No integrity at all.
No I integrity. Do appreciate the uncertainty. In a perfect world, takeovers would happen clearly. It's been very difficult. It's an entirely confidential process. So basically, this just talks about that. But Scottish National Party MP John Nicholson asked and told the Premier League has been put under enormous pressure to look favourably on the Saudi deal. Have you spoken to anyone in government? Masters said, I'm talking generally, but during my time, I'm not aware of the government putting any pressure on it. And Nicholson said, well, this one's different because the government is very keen to keep good relations with Saudi Arabia. And then Nicholson said, so you find yourself in a position where Louis Tomlinson, One Direction, wanted to take over Doncaster and help them, was blocked. He said, so you're blocking Louis Tomlinson from taking over the club, but the grisly Prince Mohammed bin Salman, who's implicated in the murder of a journalist who's lured into a Saudi embassy and then murdered and chopped up into little pieces, could find him passing the fit and proper test and taking over the club. That would be humiliating for you. I can't imagine where a person who's implicated in murder can take over an English club. But then he said, Masters says, refused to comment on that, said our owners and directors test is not subjective, it's objective and allows us to disqualify owners on a raft of issues. We think it's robust and allows us to make decisions. If clubs can find the right owners for their clubs, they'll be allowed through. If the people aren't right, they won't be. So he said that it's about, it could happen, and then says, but it might not happen. If it does happen, it's a disgrace.
It is a disgrace, and that's based on not only what these people have done and are doing, but also due to the fact of they pirated the Premier League TV and basically now have gone, oh, sorry, we'll sort that out. Yeah, you will sort that out, won't you, by giving the Premier League a big fat contract to help smooth this over. It's an absolute disgrace if that goes ahead. And I said all along, it will go ahead because that's just the way the world.
Well, the Premier League have not got a leg to stand on. Anyone can pirate anything now for the Premier League because they're not bothered. These have been doing it and selling it as a business. So it's a disgrace. The Masters is a disgrace anyway. But the Premier League, it's corrupt. And it's a disgrace, really, the whole thing. You can see it. There's no integrity in it whatsoever. But there you go. What can you say? See, Derby County's former Liverpool player Andre Wisdom, he was stabbed in the head and buttocks by a masked man at 4:30 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah. What a weird situation that is.
Stable, absolutely
strange situation.
Danny Murphy says Kevin De Bruyne will be clapping hands for Liverpool players who can't even lace his boots. They say he says it's nonsense if City give them a guard of honour.
Yeah,
which is weird. Which is weird, isn't it?
Nonsense.
But do you not think they should?
I don't think any club should give any club a guard of honour. I've never understood why it happens. Never understood why a club should be forced into sending a congratulations, whatever, to any club. You go out there to win the league. If another club wins it, they win it, sound. But I don't understand why anyone has to give them a guard of honour. We'll put it this way, right? If a team wins the league, right, then every team the following season should have to give them a guard of honour. Why should the first team they play give them a guard of honour? Or should be everyone or nobody, as far as I'm concerned. Do you know what I mean? It's like, because Man City the first team, why should they have to give them a guard of honour?
Yeah. It is strange, isn't it?
It certainly wouldn't happen if Everton were playing them, so...
No, of course not. Ziyech and Werner look as though they're going to... Although I don't know how Werner can. What? They officially join the Blues tomorrow. They join training tomorrow.
Chelsea.
But then, Werner's just played this... he scored the last 2 goals, then he scored... But it's a break the record for Leipzig. So, what do you do with it? Surely, I suppose they can't give him... Or can they? Give him 5 weeks and then another 3 weeks off.
Well, I suppose they'd want to get them into the club and give them a couple of weeks training just to have a little look at them and do all the other stuff with them. Any more before I just want to jump into the comments.
No, go on, jump in.
A couple of comments. Paul Callow says, would you like to see the offside rule changed so that any player in an offside position is flagged for offside, not just a player deemed to be active? No, I would never, ever, 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 Paul, like to see that ever come in. That's the old offside rule, and I would never, ever want to see that come back. It was an appalling rule that meant that the player who had nowhere near the game at all. We said what we want. We want the Wenger rule brought in so that any part of a player that is onside means the player's onside. Not now any part of the player that's offside means the player's offside. But no, going back to that rule, no, not at all. And Terry McAllister says, thoughts on the expanded benches or 5 substitutes staying beyond this season. I personally can see the bigger benches staying, but not the 5 changes. Yeah, I agree, Terry. I wouldn't have a problem with you being able to name 9 subs or 11 subs if you wanted, but I'd still have only the availability of 3 to come on. But I don't know, do you feel different?
I just worry that we've already seen it with 7 subs, that it's an excuse for players to sit on the bench and take the money. I understand why it's going on at the moment. It may well go into next season, because if this pandemic's the way it is. I think we've both said that the issue that football's got is because of 7 subs. One of the issues is because of 7 subs. If you now start making it 9 and making it 11...
No, I agree, but do you not feel like the horse has bolted?
Isn't it time? We're at a reset. Isn't it time to reset the whole thing? Isn't it time to drop it back to 5?
What if?
Why do you need more than 5?
But what if you're giving an opportunity to more people, kids certainly, having people on the bench? I just don't see. I just don't see the personally now. I don't see the difference between having 7 and having 9.
We wouldn't be able to have it in our.
No, I know we wouldn't. So we wouldn't. We'd have to take seats out the family enclosure. No, I don't see a problem. But what I do think is, I do think the bigger clubs will lobby to try and keep this rule in.
Well, of course they will, because it keeps players happy.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it keeps people happy. So I'm sub. You mightn't get on any week, but you sub. You're part of the match day thing. That's the reason why football's gone the way it is. It's the reason why people are happy to move to clubs. Winston Bogart. And sit without playing a game of football.
So hard ago now.
I know,
but I also feel like, what we spoke about before in the past with the salary cap works with that. Do you know what I mean? I want the salary cap to come in. I want players to have a value. I want players not be able to go and sit on the bench at somewhere because they're not earning that money. You earn what? But no, I absolutely take your point on it. And we have spoke about it loads of times. The more the subs went up, the less the value was of the player, and you're right, players come and sit on the bench. It's not like a hard. I wouldn't be bothered either way if it stayed. I don't see it going down because people are just pointing and go, oh, it gives young players a chance to be in the squad.
If that's the case, then 6 of your matchday squad have to be from the academy then. So you'd have 6 subs from the academy.
I'd have no problem with it going up if it meant, like I said, a salary cap, and a salary cap come in and the players sitting on the bench weren't sitting on the bench for the money. They were genuinely, part of the squad. But I don't know. I it would benefit the big clubs.
Makes things complicated though.
As long as we didn't have 2 goalies.
If you've got 11 subs or 9 subs, normally, your intention is only to bring 3 of those players on.
I don't think a lot of clubs would be that bothered, because I think look at Burnley last night. Burnley had 7 subs and 4 of them I think were kids, like that never played.
Yeah.
So they're really struggling. So,
but I think he will have known that those 4 kids weren't getting on no matter what, were they?
No,
it was just there. So then you become someone who you just become people who are then just stuck on the bench for the sake of it. You're going, go ahead, we'll just have you on the bench. It is an
interesting thing, because when you actually start to think about it, who would it actually benefit? Because a lot of clubs now, certainly with FFP, they aren't carrying those huge players.
They're having to try to close it down.
They aren't carrying those huge players. And I do think the more, so that's what I'm saying, the more, if we can start getting rid of these players who are just there for the money, then I'd have no problem with the numbers going up if it gives opportunities for young players or whatever to be on the bench. Maybe as it is now.
But then what's the point?
I think what the point is it just gives you more options. And I don't know whether
I personally I don't think you need to. I think all you're doing then, it gives people an excuse, these kids an excuse to continue with their Instagram lifestyles. you're making it on the bench for Everton, you're never getting on. You just need someone to go and sit on the bench. Well,
I suppose it is that thing though, if the opportunity does arise, but then that would only probably happen if you were allowed to have more subs come on. So
no, I'm against it, personally.
There you go. I'm sort of 50-50. Baz is firmly he wants one sub. One sub he wants.
5 subs is enough.
Yeah.
But you're only making 3 changes. You don't need. I get why it's 7 because they want to keep more players happy. So fair enough, but I wouldn't. I know at the moment it's 9 and all that, but I reckon he'll go back to 7 personally. That's what I think it'll be. Because I think 18-man match day squad is it's adequate.
It would change the. You'd have to change the benches as well. So.
And unless they made a rule where 5 of them had to be academy players, if it was 9, then fair enough. But
there you go. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Would you like to see the subs rule made bigger, or do you like it as it is, or is it too big as it is? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for all the people in the comments. Loads of them about Everton. Leave them for live at 5.
Do them now, in a minute. For live at 5.
Back for live at 5. If you haven't watched this video live and you want to watch it live, it's over on Patreon. Click the link in the description if you want to join us over there. Well, as I said, we're about to go and do a live at 5 over there. We'll be talking all things Everton over there. So if you want to check that out, the link is in the description. Give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and as I said, Patreon, join us. It's great. See you later.